We are live. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live. And Huddle community, I have a question for you. Are you a content creator who's struggling to create are you a content creator who's struggling to create content, doing it part-time, but working a full-time career in a busy hustle and grind content creation world? Well, today we're going to be talking about 5 tips on helping you as a part-time content creator who has a full-time career creating content in this hustle and grind world of creation. And we're starting right now. Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to The Huddle. I'm your host, Walter Strong. If you're new here and you want to broaden your reach, your impact, and income through online video, we welcome you to the show. And as we said this morning, we're going to be talking about 5 important tips that will help you as a part-time content creator who has a full-time career be able to create great content in this hustle and grind content creation world. And so if you are ready to get this on, as my man DMX said, let's get it on. If you are ready to get into this discussion, I need you to get into the chats because this morning we are on YouTube. So YouTube, if you are a part of Team Live, let me know where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live. If you are on LinkedIn, let me know where you're watching me from and give me a hashtag Team Live. And if you are on Facebook this morning, that's right. We are on Facebook this morning. Let me know in the chat where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live. And if you are going to be watching the replay of this live stream in the comment section, let me know where you're watching me from and give me a hashtag Team Replay. Already we see my good dear sister Florence Donald from Equip Institute, the productivity queen, live stream in the house. Good morning. Oh yeah, we are excited. Hashtag Team Live. Yes, definitely. And to my online listeners, if you are in the office this morning, if you are in the car this morning, or if you are taking you a nice little walk in the park this morning, listening to me, whether on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, make sure you do me a favor, give us a thumbs up, give us a hashtag, either Team Live or Team Replay. So we are excited this morning. We are excited. We decided to say, hey, look, let's go ahead and multi-stream this morning and go to LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Normally, we always are on YouTube and Facebook, but I kind of felt like this topic was very important, that we wanted to make sure that we are reaching a very broad audience this morning on each of these 3 platforms so that we can be able to have a conversation. You work a full-time job, a full-time career, but you are a part-time content creator in this hustle and grind content creation world, and you want to know, hey, how can I create great content in these times that we're living in? This morning, we want to say good morning to my man, Podcast Creator Hub, aka Ash Bolin, all the way from London. Good morning, sir. We are excited. So without further ado, I think we've got all the housekeeping things in order. Let's fire up the stream deck. Fire up, fire up. Yes, the stream deck is fired up. So let's get into this discussion. How do you, as a part-time content creator who works a full-time career, who even may have a family, who may have a cat, a dog, and a fish in the tank, how do you create great content in this hustle and grind content creation world? Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Tip number 1, you got to look at your best time to be able to create content. Having a full-time career, being a part-time content creator, you got to find your best time. And why is this important? Because as I was just kind of looking over YouTube this past week and just trying to gather some ideas for my next live stream discussion this morning, I kept seeing live videos and previous videos on being a full-time content creator. Being a full-time content creator, how can you be a full-time, part-time creator? How can you make money as a full-time content creator? And I said, that this is definitely an interesting topic to talk about. But I said, not everybody is in that space of creating content as a full-time career, as a full-time job, and not having to be able to have to work a 9 to 5. Not everyone is in that situation, or there may be individuals who are traveling down that path but still have a full-time career because they have to support themselves, they got to support them family, they need benefits, they need health, they need dental, they need vision. Not everyone is on that path yet to full-time career. But what if you are a part-time creator? And I began to kind of search YouTube and say, where are the videos on this? And I came across only two videos. And I said, this is the discussion that we need to have on if you are a part-time creator who may have a desire to be a full-time content creator in a certain period of time, but you're part-time with a full-time career and family. What's your best time to create content? Is it morning? Is it at night? Or if it's not morning or night, what pockets of time can you be able to grab to start your content creation process? For me, it's morning and grabbing pockets of time. Pockets of time. Pockets of time can be like me getting to work early in the morning and no one's in the office, and I got my tripod, switch pod, I got my phone, and maybe I want to shoot a quick YouTube short video or an or Instagram reel. Pockets of time that no one's in the office. I got good lighting because the office is well lit, and I can shoot a short form video. Pockets of time. Pockets of time could be maybe you're outside taking a nice little walk and it's nice, it's sunny. You got your light, you got your nice quiet area, and you're just having a walk, and you have a pocket of time to shoot your next short or reel. As a content creator who may be part-time, you got to look at what's best for you morning or night, but most importantly, look at your pocket of time to be able to create your content. Because if you're working a full-time career, and if you're working anywhere between 8 to 10 hours a day, okay, boom, that 8 to 10 hours a day now has basically been to your employer. Then you have family. Your significant spouse, your wife or husband, is going to want your attention. They're going to want to have a conversation and talk with you. And so then you have your son or your daughter or your children, they're going to want your time. So having pockets of time, whether morning or night, can be able to help you to be effective in creating your content in this hustle and grind content creation world. So look at your best time. Is your best time in the morning? Is your best time at night? Or are you a person like me who's looking for pockets of time? So I got a question to those who are on Team Live in YouTube. I got a question to those who are maybe watching me on Facebook or LinkedIn Live. Got a question for you in the chat. Let me know, what's your best time for creating content? Whether if you're a full-time creator or a part-time content creator with a full-time career. Just in the chat, let me know. Is it morning or night? Or you say, Walter, I'm just trying to grab pockets of time. And it's important to do that so that you don't have those moments where you feel like, I don't have enough time to sit down and come up with content ideas. I don't have enough time to come up with editing my videos. I don't have enough time to sit down and run a show for my live stream? What's your pocket of time to create content? As we wait for the chat to kind of give us some feedback, we want to also say good morning. Oh, yeah, to the good man, Tech Troublemaker. He's a troublemaker. He's a troublemaker. He's a troublemaker. He's a troublemaker. Good morning, sir. And then our special dear auntie, Denise Jordan from This and That. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Tech says in the chat here, I have a habit of accidentally making sure my wife doesn't speak to me when I'm creating content. Well, man, what's your secret, man? What's your secret sauce? We probably have to do another show on your secret sauce of you being happily married and being able to create content where your wife understands that this is the time for me to create content. Love to get your feedback on that for a show. Let's look off. We say here, hey, this and that. Community just chatting up. Mr. Frank Jackson in the house. Good morning, sir. Good morning, live stream moderator. Good morning, sir. And so your special time, is it morning? Is it night? Or as Tech says, you being able to have a conversation with your wife and your kids or your spouse or your significant other or your whatchamacallit. Maybe you're a person who got to watch. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go there. 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 What's your pocket of time that you can be able to discuss with them? All right. Tip number 2. So your best time. Also, I think it's important as a part-time content creator, even as a full-time, especially if you're trying to move to full-time, you got to put certain practices into place so that you can be able to be successful and you can be able to keep your mental peace and health, keeping yourself organized, especially when you have a full-time career. Because the same time as you're working that full-time career or that job, you have to keep yourself organized and getting things done, meeting certain deadlines. And the same approach that you are taking, whether you're working remotely or if you're working in the office, you have to be able to keep yourself organized. Well, some of the tools that we use here at creating content, and I'm quite sure those in the Huddle community, is Google Drive, being able to work and putting content together. And maybe you're not in front of your laptop, but you have your mobile phone and you got the Google Drive app, and you can boom shoot a quick short form video or short or reel, and you want to kind of do some more stuff to it on when you get home on your laptop. Maybe you've put it into captions, and you did some captions to it. You did some trimming to it, and now you want to put it in Google Drive, and then you can easily take the upload from Google Drive from your phone and transfer it over into CANVA, because CANVA is integrated with Google Drive. That's a great way of helping yourself to stay organized. Another way is for me using my Google Docs and my Google Sheets. Boom, opening up a quick Google Sheet or Doc and putting down some information, whether if I'm mobile or on desktop. It allows me to be able to kind of organize my thoughts, do some brain dumping, as our dear Florence says, being able to, don't keep all of that stuff in your head, but doing some brain dumping so that way you can begin to organize and put together your next piece of content that you want to share on these platforms, whether on LinkedIn, whether on Facebook, whether on YouTube. You want to be able to keep things organized. And then having a calendar system, whether if it's Calendly or Google Calendar, being able to schedule appointments, discovery calls, being able to book individuals to be a guest on your show. These are just some of the ways or tools that you can use to keep yourself organized, being a part-time content creator, working a full-time career, until you get to that point where you're going to be able to be full-time, if that's the desire. But if that's not the desire, and there is a need for you to keep your full-time career because of benefits, retirement, health, and just bringing in a steady income to be able to make sure bills are paid, paying for college. Brother getting ready to have to send his princess away for college this year coming up in August. Keeping yourself organized is definitely a clear way of you being organized. And so I throw it in the chat. If you are on Team Live in YouTube, let me know in the chat. What's some of the ways you are keeping yourself organized, whether as a full-time creator or a part-time creator? Because we as part-time creators can certainly learn full-time content creators to keep ourselves organized. And so are you using the Google ecosystem, such as Google Drive and Docs and Sheets and calendars? Or are you using another process? We'd really love to get your feedback on this discussion, whether if you're on Facebook or LinkedIn or on YouTube. Hey, do me a favor. If you are on one of these platforms checking us out live this morning, make sure you hit that like button, that thumbs up button. Each of the platforms have their own version of the like button, but please make sure you hit that thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Smash that like button on Facebook and LinkedIn. And if you are checking out the replay up to this point, really love to have you to hit that like button. That lets the algorithms know of these platforms that you really enjoy this content. If you are in church and the preacher said, if you are getting the message that's being shared today, you would be able to say amen, hallelujah. So your way of saying amen and hallelujah this morning is clicking that thumbs up button for me, whether if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, or a part of Team Replay of one of these platforms. Tip number three. Being a part-time content creator working a full-time career definitely involves doing a lot of research. And again, it goes back to what's your best time? Your morning, your night, or pockets of time that you can grab? Is there a pocket of time to be able to do research while the spouse, the wife or husband, because homemakers can be wife and husband, male or female, and one of them is in the grocery store, and you are in the car while the kids are in the grocery store with the spouse, and you're on your phone. You can be able to say, okay, I need to do some quick researching on this next video that I want to record. Let me go into Google search right quick. Let me go into the YouTube search bar right quick. Let me go into Chat GPT or using another AI tool. Using that time to be able to do some research for your video. And so whether if it's morning or noon or at lunch, on your lunch break, or just grabbing pockets of time, it helps you to be able to do the research so that you can be able to create great content for your audience so that you can start growing your channel and getting more views. It's important. It's important to do that, because by having that pockets of time or morning or noon, I think it's also going to help to protect me and you from having those moments where you're feeling overwhelmed and tired. Maybe the overwhelmed and tired and feeling burnt out is not coming from YouTube, but maybe it's coming from a very stressful and demanding day at the job. Maybe it's coming from being stressful and demanding and challenging because you're in the car coming to and from work, and the traffic is just crazy and you're sitting in traffic. Being able to have that time to do research so that you can come up with some great content ideas to turn that content idea into a relevant and important topic that's going to answer a specific question in your viewer's life is important. So looking at your research tools, I just put these basic 3 up here. You may be a person who's into vidIQ. You may be a person who's into TubeBuddy. You may be a person who may be into Keyword Anywhere. Whatever your tool that you're using, use it so you can be able to do some research to help to grow your channel. Oh, another great idea, as Tech said in the chat. Let me pull this up. Using a whiteboard. A whiteboard where you can be able to, put down some and put some dates down for an upcoming interview or guest that you want to bring onto the show, or a whiteboard so you can begin to put down some ideas because you are going to be invited on a, a person's show, and they want you to kind of bring something to the table in terms of the discussion of the topic, and you can use a whiteboard or Google Calendar to do that. So another great point. Florence says Google Calendar, Evernote, great drafts, and Google Drives keeps me organized. There you are. That's where it's at. This is coming from our very own productivity queen, Florence, that wherever, and you can check her out every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. So if you're a brother who, like me, who missed her last night, you got to catch the replay once this live stream is over. Florence, I do apologize. I missed you for a good cause. I know you will appreciate it, but I had to take the family out to dinner last night. So we had a great time at a nice Italian restaurant. It's the first time for me actually going to a real Italian restaurant in my life, and really enjoyed myself. So that's the reason why you didn't see me on the live, but you will see me on the replay this afternoon sometime, checking you out. So all great points here, all great points. Using a whiteboard, Google Calendar, using a Google Drive, Evernote, these are all great tools that we as content creators, part-time content creators, who's trying to be able to get where we are consistently creating great content in this hustle and grind content creation world called YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook or your podcast show. These are some great ways of you being able to do some research. So that's tip number 3. Let's go to tip number 4, scheduling your time. You did your research. Now it's time to schedule this out. Schedule it out, whether if you're going to schedule time to be able to do some videos, whether short form or long form or recorded videos that you're going to post later, shooting some videos, doing some editing. If you're a person who does your own editing and you don't outsource it, if you're a person who have to do your own graphics like I do, and you don't have someone outsourcing it who does your graphics for you, you have to be able to schedule time as a part-time content creator working a full-time career. This helps you to keep balance, to be able to stay balanced, to keep things organized, to keep things flowing. Stout. And again, the stress doesn't necessarily have to come from YouTube or content creation, but maybe it's coming from work. The workload is picking up so much to the point where it's constantly got you focused. Soon you will cut the computer on. Soon you turn on the computer screen. Boom, you are at go, working on whatever it is that you're assigned to do. You are eating lunch at your desk, and then you saying you're gonna shut down at 4:45, but you don't shut down until 5:15 because you now need to rush out because you have an appointment in the evening time, or you have to get your child to a particular dance recital, rehearsal, or football or basketball practice. Being able to schedule time is so important, so that way when you do get it and sit in front of the video, you have the energy to want to be able to shoot the video. You have the passion to be able to sit through the process of the editing, so you can be able to edit the video right, and then work on your graphics and your thumbnails or promotion pieces that you need. These are some great ways to help you and me as a part-time content creator working a full-time career in this hustle and grind content creation world, so that we can grow our channel and get more views. Hey, if you are getting great value out of this discussion this morning, I need a favor from you. If you're checking me out on Facebook, hit that thumbs up button. thumbs up button. Give me a heart emoji on Facebook. If you are getting some, if this is connecting with you, leave me some feedback on Facebook. I know sometimes Facebook, unless you agree to allow your profile and information to be shared, definitely leave me some feedback, and I will definitely respond when the show is over on Facebook. If you are on LinkedIn, checking us out on live or on the replay, click that thumbs up button. And here, those of you who are on YouTube Team Live, make sure you click that thumbs up button, smash the like button, share this on your favorite social media platform. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, where we are committed to helping you to broaden your reach, your impact, and income through online video, we want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel and to click the alert notification button. Let me see here. We've got a couple other comments over here. So let's just jump over. As Florence says, make sure you hit that like button. Most definitely. Another comment from Florence. I'm sorry, from Ash says, I use OneNote for all that stuff. It's so good to keep all my research in one place. That's another great point. Whether if it's OneNote, Evernote, you got Google Keep, and a lot of these, that I've done in the past, having one of these type of note-taking information and having them on my phone where I can just do it right on my phone. Like I said, the wife is in the car. My wife and daughter are in the mall doing some shopping. I'm not the type of brother who wants to just walk around in the mall, so I'll just chill in the car and have me some music playing and start putting some research ideas. Another great point. And it helps you as rather part-time or full-time to be able to, keep everything in one place and keep things going. No apologies needed. Thank you. You're so kind. Yeah, we went to this nice restaurant. We were debating between an Asian restaurant to go to eat. And then we said, no, let's go to this. And we didn't even know this restaurant was an Italian restaurant when we got in there. But it was good. It was definitely good. So, boom. Ash, I will be teaching on OneNote. Okay, there you go. You got a sneak preview upcoming soon. Florence is going to be teaching on OneNote. So we definitely want to be checking that out for sure. She said the Stream Deck is a big time saver. Definitely. Oh my goodness. When I first got me my Stream Deck and I got help set up with Ken and Tech, and man, it was like the heavens had opened and the choir angels were singing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. That's my version of Nicolas Cage from what was that movie? Face Off. And in the beginning, he was there with the choir singing. Let me tell you something. When I started using the Stream Deck, man, the heavens were open, and I just hallelujah, hallelujah. Okay, let's get back to the show. But definitely, the Stream Deck is a time saver. It is a time saver. Tip number 5: batching out. As a part-time content creator working a full-time career, you definitely got to find not only those pockets of time, and when you schedule that time, whether morning, noon, or night, or no one's in the house and you're going to be home by yourself, that's a great time for you to batch out some content, whether if it's short form or long form. That's a great time for you to sit down and work on some runner shows. So like I love the way Florence had in March Madness and all different guests coming on. She would have probably had her a time where the house is quiet and no one's there, and she can just work out and just not work on one run of show, but just work on each of the run of shows, put the drafts together, so that way as each show drew closer, she had the draft for each one of the run of shows started. And so that's a great way of batching out, so that you can be able to produce and make great content. Batching out and working on your thumbnails, and sitting down and getting in front of your camera, and making some new photos. I've noticed over the last 3 months, how Ash at some point really sat down and said, "Let me get in front of this camera and start making some new photos." And so, and you can see it in his thumbnails of each of his videos that he posts on Facebook. So batching out time to do one of these three things, even though you have a full-time career in this hustle and grind content creation world, will help you in being able to make better content that'll get clicked on and grab individuals' attention, working on your running shows, or just creating short form and long form videos. These are all great ways of doing that. Tip number six. Up to this point, we've been talking about from a content creation standpoint, but now let's go to the full-time career or job aspect. So you work a full-time career and you have a full-time job. For me, I'm in banking and financing, where I'm constantly dealing with fraudsters and scammers and hackers, constantly trying to open up fraudulent accounts. And now with this whole thing with AI tools, and how they are using some of these AI tools to compromise people's information to open up fraudulent accounts, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing how individuals are using these AI tools. And so, just these last 2 weeks, it's really it's really challenged me to stay on my top of my game, to keep myself up to date and focus on what's going on. Because if you end up having 1 or 2 bad days where you're not on your game and you're not on top of things, and you let some of this stuff get through, the impact that it's going to have on my company or your company, the impact is going to then have on the person whose information has been compromised. Man, it's going to cost a lot of thousands and thousands of dollars. And so, as a part-time content creator, who again, we're gonna talk about, is full-time content creation for everyone. We're gonna definitely get into that discussion. But right now we're just talking about from a part-time standpoint. It said to me, man, I gotta stay on top of my job performance. I gotta stay on top of my job performance, where I'm going to bed on time. I'm getting, because I get up at, here in the US, I have to get up 5 a.m, Eastern Standard Time, so that I can catch my train at 6:50. I'm the first person in the office at 7:45. We don't start to 9, but most of the time I'm working about 8:30 and I leave about 4:45. That's pretty much my work schedule. But in saying all of that, being a part-time content creator, for me to be successful and to make great videos that's going to resonate with my viewers, my community, my subscribers, I have to stay on my job performance. Because if I'm lacking in my job performance, I'm a person who just takes it personal. When a manager comes to me and say, "Hey, look, we have something I need to address with you. You made some errors here. They're correctable, but I want you to just be mindful of these mistakes and correct them." Part of my challenge, though, I take the feedback, I take the constructive criticism, use it for opportunity for growth. But where I struggle sometimes is I tend to take it personal, um, and I tend to dwell on it too much, and it can affect me mentally. Where I feel I'm not perfect, but I have to remind myself of that I'm not perfect, and I have to remind myself it's okay that you made the mistake, but you got to learn from it. It's okay that you may have failed at something, but you can bounce back from it. But I have to keep reminding myself of it, because if I don't, it can affect my job performance. It can affect my mental. And if I'm in one of those mindsets, Now, when I come over here to create content, it becomes challenging for me to shoot to do a short, or to do a short form video, or to do a live stream. It becomes a challenge. And so, as a part-time content creator who works a full-time career, if you are kind of on that same path and that journey as I am, you gotta, you know, stay on your job performance. Job performance in terms of trainings that you need to take on your job. I've been with this company now for a little over now 6 months, and how they've entrusted me with more responsibility to say, hey, look, we want to start putting you in charge of new projects from a fraud standpoint because of your background and your experience in fraud, and accepting those challenges. But now the trainings here, the projects have been launched, and maybe you don't start so good out the gate with those projects and with that training, and it kind of affects your job performance. As a content creator, whether full-time or part-time, you got to be able to make sure your job performance is at where it needs to be, because if it's not, then what will happen is when you have your annual review, then it'll be discussed during your annual review. I'm a person personally who don't want to wait to the annual review. I do my own weekly and monthly performance reviews on myself. I hold myself accountable, so that way when my annual reviews come, it's no surprise or shock to me what they're sharing with me and saying, hey, look, all across the board, not only are you meeting expectations, but you are exceeding expectations. And here are some opportunities for growth where we think you can continue to grow. It's no shock to me. So making sure I'm meeting my job performances on a weekly and monthly basis is important. Now you add content creation to the mix, and getting into YouTube analytics, getting into learning new tools like Chat GPT, and getting into other AI tools and other things like that. Got to stay on your job performance, and then also your workflow. Your workflow in terms of what you're doing on your job, whether if you're working remote or in the office. And then, like I said, training. All of these things that I'm learning in my own personal life play a part on how I can be successful as a content creator who at some point, if I do decide to want to, pursue this a full time, me being able to have my job performance, my workflow and training at the points where it need to be will all play a part in how I'm successful in this area. And like I said, when I was on YouTube looking for content that really discussed this, the one video I did come across, one young lady, she was sharing about how when the pandemic happened, and as a result, um, a large percentage of her work stopped, and as a result, she ended up taking a pay cut, and she ended up turning to YouTube, and she ended up having, starting a successful YouTube channel, and now being monetized and bringing in some income, but she still has a full-time career. She's still doing it. She still has a full-time career. So she hasn't fully said, even though her YouTube channel is doing well, to finally say, I'm going to pull the make the decision to go full-time. And the other video that I had saw was about, what people don't tell you, or what you need to know before you make the decision in going full-time. But I kept looking for videos on, what if you are a part-time content creator? Uh, what's your story? What's your journey? Where are you at? What's your struggles? I didn't see any of these things. And so I said, we got to have a conversation. I know we talked about content creation 101, but I said, this is the next logical step in our discussion on creating great content that's going to add value to your viewers and get you more views and grow your YouTube channel or platform. It's so important, so important. Hey, if you are checking us out on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, in the chat, let me know where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live, and click that thumbs up button, and let's continue the conversation. Tip number seven. We've said this before, but it bears repeating. Whether if you're a part-time or full-time. But in the journey of being a part-time creator working a full-time career, you got to remember your why. You got to remember your why you're doing this. What's your purpose? What's your passion? What ticks on the inside of you that says, "Hey, I got to get up in the morning, set up all my lights, get my cameras turned on, get my computer and everything turned on. Let me hit my live stream checklist so I can say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live." What's your reason, your purpose? And we shared, just recently why it's so important to us to create content. But what's your purpose? What's your why? What's your what clicks on the inside of you? And then on top of that, how does that purpose, that passion, that drive, how is it fueling your commitment? Because after a while, things can be a little challenging in the journey of content creation and kind of, weigh on your passion, but you still have is your commitment is still there. Is your commitment still there despite the temporary moment of results that you're seeing? Is your commitment there? And most importantly, having fun. Is your why producing the fruit of you and having enjoyment out of this? Is it producing the fruit of you having fun at doing this? And if it is, your why should be a big part of it. Your why, and being able to have you guys in the chat, from Tech to Florence to Denise to Ash to my online listeners who are listening to me either on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. um you're there. I see you in the numbers, but you may not want to be in the chat. I want to acknowledge you as well. Remembering my why is so important. Remembering your why is so important in content creation, one-on-one, whether if you're a part-time or full-time creator in this hustle and grind content creation world that we are in. It's important to remember your why. Let's get into summary. So we talked about your best time. We talked about staying organized. We talked about having that time of doing research. We talked about having the time to schedule time the same way you would schedule time to go to your doctor, physician, or dentist, or eye doctor. You schedule time. Um, it's important for you to schedule time in you creating content for video editing or graphics, batching out that time, and whatever time you schedule out where you can batch out content, whether if you're batching out for videos or for editing or doing running shows. And then, like we said, staying on top of your workflow and your performance at work, staying on top of training. Because I don't know about you, when I find myself feeling overwhelmed because I'm not getting training done at work, I kind of just went through that a couple of weeks ago. And my manager, she would just send me kindly reminders, "Hey, look, I need you to get this done, this training done before upper management starts making noise." But I'm busy in my workflow of doing my tasks of my job responsibilities. But I kept having that training not done yet. And then once I turned off the computer, I was like, man, I haven't got that training done. And it's because that's in my head. Now when I go to try to, you know, do a quick short or reel, I'm I'm trying to push myself to focus on creating the content, but in the back of my mind, that training is not done. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm unique. I'm special. Maybe I need to, hey Frank, maybe I need to sit down on the couch, have a conversation with someone and find out what's going on in my head and why I'm like that, Frank. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Um, but yeah, stay on top and remember your why. Remember your why. So that's the content. That's the content. Let's get into some questions and let's get into some comments. So if you have a question, I would ask that you would put a Q in front of your question. If you got a comment on this topic here, put a C in front of the comment, and C in front of the comment, and let's have a discussion here. Let's have a discussion on this. And then after that, we're going to get into the win of the week as we jump over here to some comments. See here. We'll see here. Boom, boom. That. Team Live. That's right. That's right. Team Live in the house. Frank says, do not forget your team. Definitely. Can't forget those that you hold yourself accountable to. You definitely got to do that. So any questions, any comments? Really love to get your feedback. And like I said, as I was looking at this discussion on this series that we're doing on content creation, and doing my research, I was like, man, there's not a lot of conversation. And maybe because I'm searching on YouTube. That's, I didn't search on Google. I didn't search on some other places like LinkedIn. So sometimes because it's YouTube content centered, my research tends to focus on that because that's the audience that I'm trying to reach on YouTube. And that's not to say that that information is not somewhere else. But it's important that when we are researching something, I'm going to get to win in the week in a minute. This was great and great today. A great one today. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm glad it resonated. I pray that you can be able to not only on your podcast creators hub, but even on your other channel and dealing with mortgage brokers that you're coaching who have an interest in creating content. This can be shared and encouraged to them as well. Even if it's just one of the seven tips, especially on stay on top of your job performance, your workflow, and training, but at the same time creating content. Definitely. Win of the week. Let's just transition. If there are no other comments or questions, win of the week had a successful successful pitch deck and presentation out this week. Okay, cool. Well, when you talk about presentations, Florence, and we've talked in privately, I have to do a presentation tomorrow with my church regarding our church's YouTube channel, as we transition our congregation from Zoom to YouTube. And quite a few members in the congregation were saying that they have some concerns of being able to watch the service on YouTube because of them being more of a much seasoned audience, much older audience. We tried doing some training virtually, but they said we would really want something in person. So I had to put together a presentation. So I'm a little nervous for tomorrow after service, an hour training in person. I've encouraged them all to bring their phones, their tablets, their laptops, and to walk them step by step on being able. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to give a good presentation. I'm more used to doing presentations with our online audience, such as you guys and others on YouTube, but an in-person individuals who are being asked to start getting on YouTube. And so this is going to be different, but we're trusting God to help us to do that. It's a great win of the week. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Florence has a question, so let's get into that queue. She says, are you separating the type of content? Are you separating the type of content work? Separating the type of content work. Can you elaborate on that for me, Florence? Separating the type of content work. Are you separating? If you could just kind of maybe just a little elaborate just a little more so that I can be able to speak to that question for you. As I wait for that. Thank you. Keeping focus on both. By the grace of God, I'm keeping focus on both. I was challenging myself to, as I'm waiting, to respond to more comments. I was challenging myself to create shorts every day because Ash, I remember one thing you had said about sometimes creating content can be like playing video games, and you want to get to the next level, so you keep at it. And so I was posting content for the last 2 weeks every day, and I kind of looked at and I kept saying, okay, I'm gonna go for 30 days, but then I kind of looked at the content that I was posting. I was looking at the views, I was looking at the algorithm, and I said, man, and I'm looking at the analytics. It's you know, I understand that YouTube is saturated and everyone's creating content, but looking at some of these results that I'm getting, creating content daily, doing shorts every day, YouTube doesn't seem to want that um, from content creators anymore. Maybe earlier in the game when shorts was first out, that was probably the thing to do. But now they don't seem to push individuals who are posting content every day as a short into the short feed section. And I think I posted up to Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, I didn't post any more shorts for the rest of the week. I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to posting shorts 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I'm going to just leave it at that. And I'm going to use that other time when we talked about, you know, having that best time to create content. I can use that other time on Tuesdays and Thursdays and work on some other important things like my buy me a coffee page, work on some other things like getting my website set up so I have a one site where I have all my links. Because trying to post daily content, whether if it's shorts, whether if it's reels, doing a live stream, um, it's interesting how these algorithms respond. So it was an interesting lesson. And then most importantly, I kind of felt myself starting to get mentally fatigued behind it. And I was like, I don't like this feeling that it's making me feel. And I said, I need to back off this. And when you talk about wins of the week, that was my win of the week. Sometimes being able to listen to your body when your body says and your mind is saying, you need to stop, you need to back up off this, because this can have a long-term effect. You may not feel the immediate impact of it, but you're starting to feel the symptoms of it. And I've heard people tell me when posting daily content that some of the side effects from posting daily content, you end up feeling it mentally and emotionally. It has some type of mental or emotional drain on you, and it takes a moment to recover from it. And so once I, started feeling that, I was like, no, I got to back up off this. Got to back up off this. Um, let's get into more wins of the weeks. Win found some new software that makes shorts. Oh, do tell, do tell. We gotta get you to spill the beans there, boy. When you get a chance after you get through playing with the tools, we gotta get you to spin. Another one. Okay, here we go. Florence says, you were so great. Great. You do so okay. Great tomorrow. Our church. Oh, I will do great tomorrow. I hope so. I, I hope so. I do. And it's not imposter syndrome. I don't think it's just it's when you're trying to encourage an audience to change, or you encourage people to change their habits of how you do things. It was just like when we went into Zoom, when everything shut down, and we had to kind of teach the congregation to start getting on Zoom. There was that transition period where you had that few that you had some that just didn't want to get with the program. You had some that felt like they were getting left behind, and eventually you want everyone to be able to transition without being um, a, a a difficult time for people. And I think that's part of where my concern is. But I appreciate the vote of confidence. Here we go. Okay, so Florence says, what I mean by the following: if you are doing all of your LinkedIn graphics and captions one time, then doing scripting. Yeah, that you could definitely, when you talk about scheduling and batching out time, um, you can definitely do that as well, because when you have that period of time that's just kind of focused on doing graphics, you want to be able to get certain graphics done for flyers, for thumbnails. You want to be able to batch out time to do that, and then maybe you batch out another time or schedule another time to do in terms of for captions and working in something like captions or whatever, or CapCut, and you've did a ton of videos and now you need to block out that time. You can definitely do that in different time frames that works for you, where that way you're not feeling like, oh man, I gotta post something. I haven't posted something in a couple of days. So yeah, you could definitely do that in different times. So I hope that brings some clarity and a good answer to your question. If not, we can definitely have a continued conversation on that. um have to drop have dropped shorts from this channel. So you have dropped shorts. So when you say you've dropped shorts from this channel, so you're not doing them at all, and you're just focusing on long form content. Is that what you're basically saying, Ash? It's interesting. I've been coming across a couple of videos by Sean Cannell over at Think Media, and his perspective on shorts, where if you're trying to get monetized and if you're trying to make money online, he was saying in terms of over time, and I'm not saying it word for word, but he was saying that you definitely have to have more of a long form content strategy versus short form, because you get a ton of subscribers, and out of those ton of subscribers, let's say you get 1,000 subscribers, how many of those in that 1,000 subscribers are going to transition over to your long form content and ultimately become clients and become a part of your community? And I believe every subscriber is important. Each person is a person. They're not shouldn't just be viewed as a subscriber, as a follower. But if they are just there just for what we talked about, shorts and reels being the trailer, the sneak preview of a long form content of information you want to share, but if they never transition over to them, ultimately they can subscribe to your channel today and be gone tomorrow. And so you can definitely see it. And I think there, another great win of the week. Another week I pushed out my first digital download on text expansion, which I will definitely check out your email on that. Congratulations. I hope you were able to send that into the entire Huddle community. And if not, I'll get your permission and I will definitely forward to the Huddle community. It says, and no longer making them channel. Yes, it's about long form now. It's about long form, and I agree with that assessment. I do agree with that. Because like I said, I was trying to I'm just gonna just pump out 30 days of short form content and of shorts, and still do my live streams. And by after the 2 weeks I said something's off here. I'm looking at the numbers, and we went back to some of my older shorts that I did, and I was getting like 500, 900,000, and I'm seeing some of these numbers, and I'm like, something's off. And then when I started hearing it from other content creators that and even I was listening to Pat Flynn, how he talked about how he just started a new channel a little over 2 years ago. He has over 100,000 subscribers, but A lot of his content is more long form and it's on storytelling. He was really talking about the importance of storytelling in your content, and that's definitely something we're going to touch on as well. And he's like, you can't keep someone just constantly giving them shorts. So I agree with you, sir. We've been talking about 7 tips on helping you to be able to create great content as a part-time content creator, though you have a full-time career in this hustle and grind content creation world. So if you're just joining us, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, click the like button, check us out, whether we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, or on YouTube. We'll definitely want to get your feedback. And those of you who are watching the replay up to this point, we're truly grateful for you on the replay. I feel the same as you. Thank you, sir. Tech, shorts are disappointing. I don't want to know if I want to say disappointing, but what I will say, because to me, shorts, I identify with them just like I use the Marvel example with Marvel videos. Um, you get your teaser, you get your trailer, then you get your clips, and then you get your movies. So I do see the value in shorts if they're done in collaboration with long form content. When I look at my overall YouTube strategy of how I do content, I put content out in 2 different ways. And I'm really trying to bring in these other pieces. I do shorts and I do live streams. Those are my 2 most pieces of content that I do. I do need to at some point start doing some short form videos, 1 to 3 minute, not vertical, but horizontal. But because I don't have an editor, I don't want to just put videos out and I don't have any B-roll in them. I don't have an editor. I'm not in a place where I can outsource and pay someone for that. And so I've put a pause on those types of videos. But I see there is a value in doing shorts. There is a value in doing short form videos, 1 to 3. And there is a value in having the community tab post. That's definitely something I got to do more of. But I'm not ready to pass my final decision in saying shorts are disappointing, because I look at, not from a comparison standpoint. I kind of say, okay, is this just me getting these types of views, or are some of the others in the community? And I was kind of looking at Ash based on what the short feed was showing me at that moment, that one video at that moment. And I was like, okay, they're kind of getting some of the same numbers I'm getting, but then I'm looking at others and I'm like, something's off here. And so I'm coming to the back to that place where it's about long form video. Now, some individuals will do short form videos and they'll do it from anywhere from 5 to almost 15 minutes. My perspective on that is, if I'm going to go 15 minutes, I might as well go ahead and do a live stream. I might as well go ahead and go and do a live stream and go from there, because I have so much I want to share. I'm still doing shorts on my mortgage. Oh yeah, I definitely think on your mortgage channel, Ash, definitely. And it's interesting. They sent the email out this past week at my job, the marketing team, and they were asking for employees who feel comfortable in wanting to be able to create Instagram and TikTok videos and LinkedIn videos to make for the company, to make some videos to talk about products and services. And so I threw my hat in the ring. Remember, we talked about in terms of word of mouth, and when someone offers assistance, ask for assistance or help, and so I saw that as an opportunity. And so I'm waiting to hear back from them. And so I say all that to say, definitely shorts for mortgage brokers, for financial services, insurance, real estate. I think that is a must for that industry for sure. It is definitely an interest to do. But for podcasting and some of the content we do, um, I think it has to be a mixture. It has to be a mixture. Um, and it's amazing when shorts first came out, everyone was saying, should I start a separate channel and just do all shorts? And now kind of starting to hear some of the established YouTubers coming out and saying, nah, that's not a good move or play. It's not a good move or play. From a monetization standpoint, if you are a full-time, we're talking about part-time, now you're talking about being a full-time content creator. You're talking about getting brand deals and sponsorships, and you're talking about all on shorts. There's some holes in that strategy. There's some holes because how do you find, and Tech talked about this on his channel about creating and finding your customer avatar. Well, how do you, out of that 1,000 or more subscribers who are all watching nothing but your shorts, how do you find your customer avatar? How do you find your customer avatar there? That becomes a challenge. And the truth of the matter is, the huddle community was not built on shorts. It was built on long form content. It was birthed through live streaming, and so there's some holes in that. There's just some hole, and you can't find your customer avatar that way. Florence says, "What is your win of the week?" What was my win of the week? 2 wins of the week. My win of the week was, one, listening to my body and listening to my mental, physical, and mental voice talking to me. You need to back up off these shorts from a daily content standpoint, because I tend to battle with this. I want to succeed. I want to succeed. I want this to work. Not so much in terms of, I want it to work so that I can grow and get more views and subscribers, but I want to make sure that it is adding value to people. And when I don't see the results at that moment, there's a fight in me that says, you failed at this. This was a flop. I did a short on 3 tips on how you can be able as a business to grow online. And it talked about, taking frequent asked questions, being able to share about industries and trends and updates. And I thought it was something that really would take off on YouTube on the shorts. It took off on LinkedIn. I'm getting more feedback on LinkedIn on it, but on shorts, it was like, got less than 100 views on it. And I was like, man, I'm trying to try new things and experiment, and it's just this short thing is just not clicking like it did in the beginning. And like you said, Tech, sometimes it can be disappointing. And when I felt myself really engaged in that mental struggle and feeling it physically, I said, back off of this. Okay. Tuesday, you did your short, no more shorts for this week. You're going to focus on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I may just do it down to Monday and Wednesday and use the rest of the days. Or maybe I just do it Monday and Friday. And I've been thinking about maybe doing a midweek huddle live stream. I may just do 2 shorts a week and then have more live streaming. That's something I'm gonna, but that was my win of the week. And then the second win of the week was, like I said, being able to go out to dinner with my family and enjoy ourselves. And those were definitely my 2 wins of the week. So thanks for asking that. Any other questions, any other comments? And really love to get into discussion. So, next week, we're going to continue on this series on content creation. I was kind of going back and forth. Do I want to get into AI tools? But I think it's important as a growing channel who's a part-time content creator with a full-time career, who's hustling and grinding in this content creation world, to really get back to my content pillars, um, and why I enjoy creating content. And part of my content pillars is being able to meet with individuals like yourself, like Florence, to see her to become a budding superstar who has so much confidence on camera now. When we first met her, she um, was a work in progress, and she still is a work in progress, but she don't mute herself anymore. But she has so much confidence in camera, and she has confidence in sharing her content. That's one of my content pillars. We're gonna get back into just creating content around that. Just getting into, you know, getting deeper into our content strategy, getting deeper into why you need to have clarity about who your audience is and how you're going to reach that audience, how you're going to be consistent in creating content, and, ultimately building a community and turning loyal viewers into clients. And we're going to stay focused on that. We're going to stay focused on that. So I hope you guys in the Huddle community will join me in this journey, and we'll just take it from there. We'll take it from there. So to those of you who've been listening to us on Facebook, if you've been leaving any comments, we'll definitely respond to your comments. Make sure you click that thumbs up button. Those of you who are checking out LinkedIn or on the replay on LinkedIn, definitely leave us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and we'll respond back. Those of you who are part of Team Replay on YouTube, I want to thank you all for checking this out. And so before we go, let's just pull back the stream deck just to share some important information. And then we're going to get on out of here and let you all enjoy your day. And so let's just get out. If you want to connect with us, and like I said, ultimately, this is going to be updated. Well, we're going to have one link that helps you to just go to us. But right now, if you want to connect with us, you can connect with us on YouTube, or you can connect with us at our website at walterstromthird.com. And if you so feel kind in your heart to want to support us, we've updated our Buy Me a Coffee link, so that way it is consistent with our brand. And so I want to give a special shout out to my dear sister Florence Donald for helping us to get that done. And we still got more work to do, but we're moving in the right direction. The Huddle community, holding each other accountable and pulling out the best of one another. Tech helps me. I help Tech. Tech helps Florence. Ash helps us. We help Ash. We bring out the best of one another so that we can be a community. A community. I heard the saying that you can have fingers, but when you take all 5 fingers and you make a fist and you hit someone, you can make a powerful punch. And that's what the community here at the Huddle is doing, making a powerful punch. And then finally, we want you to what I do. There we go. If you are interested in some coaching services, some help on being able to start as an online content creator, we have coaching services, so we can set up a 15-minute call with you, rather through Zoom or through Google Meets, and find out, what is your passion and what you want to create on in content. So just some information we want to share. And so again, we want to thank each and every one of you who've been checking us live either on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. And those of you checking out the replay, I pray that this conversation that we had as being a part-time content creator has been relevant. I really pray this has been relevant. I pray that it has really connected with you in some small way. Okay. It's connected with you. It's been relevant. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and to bring this to a close. But before we bring this to a close, we always now close out by saying, if you are a person, not just a content creator, but a person who feels broken in your life today, if you feel broken mentally or emotionally, you feel broken in your dreams, and you want to create content, that adds value to people, but you feel broken. I want to encourage you today. Lean into the camera. Hear what I'm saying. Broken crayons steal color. Broken crayons not only steal color, but they have the potential to make a great masterpiece in the hands of a child. And so I want to encourage you today. Maybe you need to humble yourself. Let go of your pride and say, I need some help. I feel broken. And let someone come in your life, be a coach, and help you to be able to steal color and create a great masterpiece. God bless.